back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here and to be on this journey together. So we are now episode 3, and today we are going to talk about we're going to talk more about the physical sensations. So I want to talk about fatigue and pain, because we all know that any task, any challenge that comes into our life, if we are faced with the physical feelings of pain and fatigue, it makes it 10 times harder. Like, everything is so much harder when we do not feel good in ourselves physically. And something that we should all know, which maybe we don't know, but it's important to share, is that our brain's job is to survive. Our brain's job is to survive. It's not actually to perform. The brain's job isn't to perform, it is to survive, okay? And our bodies are actually always sending signals through our nervous system to the brain, and the brain collects data. The brain is constantly collecting data from the body and analysing everything. And then the brain will actually see what it perceives as dangerous, what is unsafe. And this is so interesting. Okay, so the brain will literally the brain will make predictions, okay? So it will predict, based on the signals that it has received through data, what is safe and what it seems dangerous. And do you know what the brain does? Oh my god, this is like so clever. Like, it's so interesting and it's so clever that the brain does this. But it answers a lot of stuff, and it really reveals why we feel so fatigued and tired and in pain and achy and no motivation. So the brain, right? The brain wants to protect us from... The brain wants to protect us from danger and from being unsafe. So the brain actually doesn't want you to take any risks. And do you know what it does to prevent you from taking risks? It makes you tired. The brain makes you tired. The brain actually sends signals and releases in your body to make you tired. You're not actually tired. You don't actually suffer with really bad fatigue. What is happening is the brain is trying to keep you safe. And it's the same with like the pains in our body. So sometimes, like, I know this recently because I've been doing running, and sometimes before I go on the run, I will suddenly start feeling tired and a bit achy, but it's because my brain is predicting that I might get hurt by going on a run, that it might be dangerous, something bad might happen to me. So the brain actually gives you physical tiredness, physical aches, to try and prevent you from doing the thing. It's trying to prevent you from doing it. And it's so interesting. It's basically a safety mechanism. It's a safety mechanism that the brain has created to prevent you from being harmed. To prevent you from being harmed. And you know, stress and chronic stress especially, but stress overall, we all know it releases cortisol in our bodies, right? And when cortisol is released in the body, that actually triggers the protective mechanism in the body. So when you are stressed, this is why you have zero energy. You feel like you can't do anything, and you feel like you just feel drained, you know? Like, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to go to work. Like, when there's so much stress, and you know, like, I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably are going through some stress. I mean, everyone goes through stress in life, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, but when we feel severely stressed inside of us, we can't focus. Everything around us is so loud, it's so noisy, there's so much going on, and yet inside we feel suffering on the inside, but also our physical body literally feels drained, tired, we feel flat. And what happens is, because cortisol is being released through the feeling of stress, we are actually sending a signal to our brain to be in fight or flight mode. And when stress isn't resolved or released, and we are in constant stress, which this then leads to chronic stress, the brain stays in fight or flight mode all the time. So we are literally walking around and the brain is preparing for something bad to happen. And this is what causes anxiety, because the brain is then prepared that something bad's going to happen. The brain's trying to predict what it needs to keep you safe from. The brain is trying to predict what it needs to keep you safe from. Like, what is, wherever you're going in life, well, when you step outside your front door, okay, the brain's in fight or flight through the stress, through cortisol. So the brain is then trying to predict what bad things are going to happen so that I can protect myself. And the brain, to try and stop you from taking the risks, and a risk could literally be getting out of bed, a risk could literally be going to work, the brain is actually sending signals to the body to make you physically tired, to make you physically tired, to make you physically be in pain, to make your muscles actually ache, to hurt, causing you back pain, shoulder pain, and also stomach pains, okay? So it also can cause, okay, so I used to, and I'm saying used to, have and suffer really bad with IBS. Okay, and IBS is essentially a miscommunication between our gut and our brain. And I used to suffer with IBS so bad, like every night I would literally be curled up in, if you know, you know, but the pain is so painful, it's so intense. And it's because the signals are not connecting from the brain to the gut to be able to process food. So that either makes you process food really, really fast or really, really slow, and that leaves you being in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. And I suffered with this every single day. I'm not even joking you. I could have a bite of, there was like a stage in my life where like anything that I ate, even it was just a small bite of something, straight away intense pain on the floor, like no good. Let me tell you, I do not have IBS anymore. I do not have IBS anymore. Like, it's gone. Like, I do not suffer with it anymore. But you know why I don't suffer with it? Because I'm not under chronic stress. I'm not under intense stress anymore. The stress, when cortisol is released in the body, when it is released and we go into fight or flight, do you know what happens to the gut? The brain actually makes the blood flow from the gut be retreated to protect the heart and other organs, because it is getting ready for fight or flight in case of something dangerous is going to happen. Like the brain, when you're in chronic stress, the brain generally believes that something bad is going to happen. Like something bad, something dangerous has happened, you are at risk, therefore the brain needs to make you survive. And how does the brain make you survive? It causes you, it forces you, it literally will force you to not take a risk, to not leave the house, to not go outside. Like, you're waking up and you're feeling like you're so tired, like you've slept for ages but you're just still so tired and you can't recharge your battery. The brain is making you tired. Your body's not actually tired, the brain is making you tired because it feels unsafe through stress, through whatever the surroundings are. And because the brain is constantly collecting data, you could have, right? The brain might have collected data from an injury that you once had, like an actual physical injury, right? So say you've had a physical injury and it's a bit prolonged. The brain actually can make the healing process so much longer so that months after it's actually healed, and say that you've had it checked by professions and it is healed, you can still be in pain for months after because the brain is still trying to keep you safe. So it's like, okay, no, that still hurts, that will prevent something else from happening, that will keep me safe. And if you're someone that maybe is in like a physical job and you've had a lot of injuries, the brain basically creates a map of the pain. And if you've experienced a lot of physical pain, the brain actually gets used to this and it gets so sensitive. The brain will get so sensitive to pain. The brain will get so sensitive to the pain that it's once experienced that it will actually make you feel pain a lot easier. Like, it will make your muscles ache. It will literally make you receive and feel physical pain because it is trying to keep you safe from taking risk and from actually getting hurt. So like, take this for example. This morning I went on a run, okay? So I start running, and I'm aware of this, okay? But if you're not aware, you wouldn't know. I'm running, okay? And literally the first 10 seconds of my run, I pull my muscle down my thigh. It felt like it pulled, and it started really hurting, right? So essentially I should stop running. But I knew that my brain was actually just trying to protect me and making my muscle hurt to prevent anything bad from happening. So instead, what I did was I turned around to my brain and I said, I took some deep breaths, and I said to my brain, it's okay, I'm safe. There's no danger here. Like, I reassured, because your brain takes instructions, right? So you need to tell your brain what to do. You got to tell your brain what to do. So I told my brain, I said, brain, listen, there is no danger here. You are safe. I appreciate you trying to keep me safe. I'm taking deep breaths. I'm okay. I'm not going to be harmed. And I promise you now, the pain went away. I didn't pull my muscle. We all know when you pull muscles, it lasts ages, right? And my muscle is not pulled. Like, it went away. It's fine. And that's not to say, like, we don't ever physically pull muscles. Like, obviously we do physically do things, and you'll know that because it will be continuously the same pain, whereas sometimes when it's the brain creating it, the pain actually can move around. So it can move from different places. Like, the brain is just trying to create pain in the body to stop you from doing something. You know, like when you wake up and you go to the gym, like if you go to the gym or you're about to do exercise or you're about to do something, the brain will make you not have motivation. Like, it will strip your motivation away so that you don't feel motivated. And you think, oh, I'm going to stay in bed today, I'll do it tomorrow. The brain is keeping you safe. Do you know, like, athletes and people who do intense sports and, you know, people that do training, they have to beat this. And if you're someone that's done training or intense sports, then you will know that the brain, you'll probably be aware of this because it will be in your training, that you have to move past this barrier, this block, because you will feel like when you get the physical sensations that you are weak, but you're not actually weak. There is actually, like, your muscles are aching. There's nothing actually wrong with your muscles. It's just the brain creating it in your muscles because it needs the blood flow to protect you in case there is danger. In case there is danger. So you actually have to retrain your brain to know that you are safe. To know that you are safe and that there isn't danger and that your body can literally trust you to keep pushing it, to keep going. It's like when you exercise and you keep going and then your muscles start to really burn. Like, your muscles can actually keep going. It's the brain making your muscles feel like they can't keep going. This is mental. Like, this is crazy. Like, what? Our brain is so clever. Like, the brain is literally, oh my god, the brain is literally forcing. The brain forces you to retreat, to not move out, to not take risk. The brain is literally forcing you to stay at home and not go to the gym, not go on a run, not go to work, stay in bed. Do you know, if the brain had full control and wants us to survive, it would literally keep you in a box. It would keep you in a box and it would say, okay, let's have food and water, we're safe, we don't need to speak to anyone, we don't need to go anywhere, let's just stay safe. Like, if the brain had its own way, like, that's what would happen. So this is why we need to be aware of this, because this is what we need to break through. This is what we need to break through. And if you are someone that's going through stress right now and you feel chronically stressed know that the physical sensations, know the fatigue, the tiredness, the pain that you are feeling is because your brain feels like it's unsafe and it is trying to predict something bad happening, because the stress that you are in is releasing the cortisol, and the cortisol is sending the signal to the brain to let the brain know that you're in fight or flight and to prepare. The brain, you're so stressed all the time, you're hypersensitive to everything around you because the brain is trying to prepare because it thinks something bad's going to happen. It literally thinks your life is at risk. And because it thinks your life's at risk, it is trying to push all of the buttons. It's turning all of the buttons up, turning your tiredness up, turning the pain up, making you sensitive to all the pain inside your body, making you sensitive to all the feelings to stop you, And it's tough. It's tough because when we come to perform and when we want to achieve and we want to do things, this is what we got to break free from. Like, we have to rewire our brain, and the brain is so clever, guys. The brain is so intelligent, it is magnificent, that we actually have the ability to rewire it. Like, you can rewire your own brain. You can rewire it. You can rewire the brain to map out what is safe and what is unsafe. So like I can teach my brain to know that I'm not in stress anymore, so that my stomach can have the blood flow to be able to process food. Like, I have the ability to do that, and I've done it. Like, it's possible. We can literally transform our lives, and it's just important to know, because I just want you to know that, like, if you are really stressed and everything is highly sensitive around you, and you feel that you're in pain and you're going to work and you're like, oh, now my leg's hurting, or my arm was hurting yesterday, now my shoulder's hurting, and now my back's aching, oh, my whole body, like, do you know, like everyone says all the time, everyone's like, oh, I'm not in my younger body, I feel like an old person. Like, people say this all the time. You don't feel like an old person. Like, your muscles are actually okay. Your muscles in your body are okay. The brain is causing your muscles to ache, is causing the pain in your body, is causing the fatigue. You know, like, you hear so many people like, oh, I just don't have energy anymore like I did when I was younger. Guess what? It's because you take more risks now. So the brain is trying to keep you safe. The brain is saying, no, 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 don't go out today, do not take a risk, let's keep you safe. That is what is happening. But now you know this. Now you know this. And it's like, really think about this, because it is mental. Like, if you are going through deep stress and you are waking up and you feel so tired and you feel, or like you just keep going to work and you're like, oh my god, my body's just giving way on me, like my body just doesn't want to do anything. Really sit there and talk to your brain and say, hey brain, like, I appreciate you trying to protect me. Look, your brain just wants to keep you safe, purely because it is here to survive, not perform. So we need to retrain our brain. We need to remap our brain, and we need to say, hey brain, thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I appreciate it. But there is no danger here. There is no danger. I am safe. You can relax. You can allow me to move forward. Like, you wonder why people get so depressed and anxious, right? Like, why do people go down the rabbit hole of depression and anxiety? It's because when we receive chronic stress through trauma, through our experiences, through bad things that happen, through whatever it may be, when we experience that, and then the brain on top of that, to try and keep us safe, adds on fatigue, tiredness, muscle pain, physical pain, when the brain is adding like actual conditions inside of us, when the brain is adding that on top of the stress to try and keep us safe, to prevent us from danger, then of course we go down the rabbit hole of depression and we don't want to get out of bed. Like, and we go through anxiety and we don't want to leave the house because we're worried about what's going to happen next. We're worried about who's going to hurt us. We're worried about where we're going to go. Of course you're worried about all of this stuff. Of course you are. Of course you are. But the brain isn't against you. This isn't to say that the brain's against you, it's trying to help you, it's trying to keep you safe. So that what the real thing is that we need to learn here, what the reality of what we can do is, what can we do inside of ourselves to create safety, not outside of ourselves, but within. How can we create safety within ourselves and actually just breathe? And I will just say, this is why breath work is so amazing, because breath work regulates your nervous system. Okay, so when you're in fight or flight and you're stressed, if you do breath work and you regulate your nervous system, you are essentially sending a signal back to your brain saying, hey, wait, you don't need to be in fight or flight, I'm safe. And then the brain says, oh, okay. So then it slowly starts to remove the fatigue and the muscle pain and all of the things, because it realises it's not in survival mode and it's okay, it's safe. So the real aim of the game here, the real aim of going from our limited selves, and what is important is that we figure out how we can talk to our bodies and send signals to our brain that it is safe. That it is safe. And the brain is always trying to predict. The brain is always looking for evidence, so look for evidence of the opposite thing. Look for evidence of the opposite thing and say, hey brain, even if it's not in your life and you see someone else do it, whatever it is causing you stress right now, you don't want to leave the relationship, you don't want to leave the job role because you're afraid of what's going to happen or there's danger and it's causing you so much stress. Okay, well, who do you know that has left the job role and they're okay, they've been successful? Well, who do you know that's in a good relationship? Look for evidence. Tell your brain that there is evidence out there. There is so much evidence out there, guys. So much evidence. And the real thing is that we create inner safety within inside of ourselves. Because when we regulate our nervous system and create safety, we tell the brain that it's okay. Like, can you imagine when we're all walking around stressed and the brain is in fight or flight 24/7? 24/7, that is tough, that is hard, and it's real, it's so real. There's so many of us that are in this suffering of living in that, and the body is actually just trying to protect us. Your body isn't against you. Your body and your brain are not against you. They are trying to keep you safe. And as you can imagine like you're so stressed and your brain's actually, this is just how the brain works, this is its way of trying to keep you safe, and then you're constantly saying like, oh, I hate my body, like I always ache, like I just hate it. Then you're even sending worse signals and instructions to your brain, to more reasons for it to hurt, and to like, just be patient. Have patience for yourself, for your brain and for your body system and how it all works, because it matters and you matter, and it's so important to put yourself first. It's so important to find, do you know what the best thing for you will be? If you are possible and you are able to, get outside. Get outside in nature. Just go on a walk. Go on a stroll. Do whatever you can. Sit by your back door if you can. Just be outside. Be in nature. Get out in the mornings. Get out in the evenings. Connect. You need to connect. Because when you're in fight or flight, you are disconnected from your environment. And when you are not connected to your body or to your environment, oh, wow, like imagine living, and I'm sure you probably know, like I've been there, living in a body where you're disconnected from your body and you're disconnected from your environment. How is anyone supposed to live here? Like, it's like, you just can't, you physically can't live. Like, it's unlivable. It's unlivable, and that's why we get depressed. That's why we get depressed, because we physically cannot, like everything's so overwhelming, and we just can't, if we can't be in our bodies and we can't be in our environment, then we are like, wah, you know? So reconnect to yourself. Be patient with your brain for trying to keep you safe. And reassure yourself that you are safe and you are not in danger. Trust your body, trust your body, trust your brain, connect with yourself, connect with your essence, connect with your environment, get outside, breathe, breathe, honestly. Take a deep breath with me now, ready? We're going to breathe in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and pause for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And focus. Focus on the space between each breath, the space between each word. You are not your stress. You are not your struggles. You are not the fatigue and the pain in your body. You are far more than that. And you wait. You just wait until you come out the other side. You just wait. Because I know what's there. And it's there for you too. It's there for you too, and it's coming for you. It's coming. It's coming. Okay? Breathe, get outside, and know that you are not your weaknesses. And that your brain is just trying to protect you. Your body is just trying to keep you safe because of the stress that you are feeling. Because of the stress that you are feeling, it is literally making you feel like your brain's just trying to keep you safe. Befriend it. Connect with it. Get outside. Okay, you've got this. I'm here to support you. Join me next week where we will dig deeper in. We're going to look at the connection, okay? We're going to look at the connection with our bodies, the connection to our environment, and we will dig deeper there and we will discover the importance of connecting. And then this is when we can start to release the disconnection, the disassociation, and we can bring in, we can be alive, we can actually be in our bodies. We can be here on earth, we can be here in our physical bodies, in our physical environments. So let's call it in. Let's return, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for watching this video, and do subscribe to join along with the journey. Okay? Love, love, love. See you next week.